And, so we do much more than just speak over the radio. We also minister to people. But that's because of faithful givers who will not allow the voice of this ministry to go off. So all of us are standing in the gap in the way God has enabled us. Some people are standing in the gap by making sure that the lights are on, the generator has some fuel in it, the antenna is paid for, and the things are working in general. We've got microphones. We're not screaming into the air.
So
And
true.
there's
We've
some,
even got microphone covers.
Yes.
so we are not making it rust with our, And also there are people who are standing in the gap who come out here early in the morning, late at night. TC's here late many nights,
Lord Jesus.
ministering the word of God. And people don't know that.
So true.
She's here ministering the word of God. And there are people, so many people receiving calls, praying for people you don't know, praying for people. I remember there was a gentleman who called me from prison somewhere, I can't remember where. And I actually came into the office and I got a pack with Bibles, with some toothpaste and some stuff like that. And I mailed it to him. But that was because there was people who gave Bibles here in the office and the word for the month booklets, word for today booklets. So people are getting blessed on so many levels because all of us are standing in the gap and not allowing anyone to be vulnerable or exposed.
So true, so true. I mean, I even know of someone that was in an orphanage, and this is the radio station that was on the radio because they didn't have much things there, and what they did have was a little radio, and he happened to put it on our station, and the message after the young adults were preaching at the time, and that's when there was the youth night session still, and his message to us was, thank you because I don't feel alone anymore.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
And to know that you impact young people like that
Yes.
through just what we speak about here, we want to continue doing that as K Pulpit. We want to definitely just sow in people's lives by what God has placed on our lives and what we have gone through. And I'm very on about using my life as a teachable moment to many young people there. And that's what I do in my sessions all the time. I try to tell them, look here, this is what I went through, and know that you are not alone, because I went through it, and I know that there's many other young people that go through these things that is just afraid to say it, or don't know how to manage it as a Christian.
Yes.
And we there with that level of support. We are reliable, and we always on, like you said.
Yes.
If you tune into us, there's always something playing there that is encouraging and that can motivate you and push you to be the best that you can be as a Christian.
Amen.
Amen.
It's very funny. I'll tell you one thing that really, really used to minister to me a lot.
Amen. I'm laughing already.
And I'm listening.
Whenever I would come in the morning, early in the morning, there was always this bishop, every Monday morning, Bishop Soy Mesosoya or something like that.
And it's a closer.
No, he's from
African.
Zimbabwe.
Oh wow.
And I think he's not on anymore.
Okay.
And he had this announcer. I just used to live for that moment. And it always made my day. Just listening to people preach the word. And I think this guy, I'm not even sure he's even still on radio, because they would advertise it as Trans World Radio.
Oh yes.
So that means
I know what
it's-
you're talking about.
Yes.
Yes.
So I think it's from like long ago. But I can still be blessed by the words that he speaks today. So I think we should all do our part
Definitely.
and close our part of the walls.
Oh, I love that. As you're speaking, Pastor Tolu, I'm thinking of a saying in isiXhosa that's called ukongana, which means to cover one another.
Precisely.
They'll normally say, especially with women, that you have to cover the next woman.
Yes.
You don't leave them bare, you don't leave them vulnerable.
Yes.
And so that, I think, is the concept, and
Yes.
even if we go back to Ezekile, that is what we are being taught, that we need to cover one another.
Yes.
sikhungane and, realize that issue over there is my issue as well as a believer. If Radio K Pulpit is about to close the doors because X amount is needed, then I need to step in. I need to step in. It is my responsibility as well to ensure that the good news goes out there. So we encourage the listeners this evening uba sikhungane to cover one another up, so that the next ministry is not brought to shame. Because it would be a shame. Imagine, where we are, handing in the towel and saying, well, that's it. That would be a shame. And as children of God, that have resources, that have the 2 million.
We have the 2 million.
We cannot let the doors close. SMS the word give, the amount that you wish to give to 37871 so that we can continue to do the good works that we've been doing so far and involve you in our programs as well. You can also send a WhatsApp to 082-657-2729 and standard rates do apply. It is 18 minutes past 7. We're going straight to Anita Wilson with Have Your Way. Oh, yes, Lord, have your way in those hearts. and we want to continue to be around, and we don't want it to stop. We were around during COVID. Why would we stop now, Pastor Tolu?
No, we're not stopping. No, we're not
We're
stopping.
not going anywhere.
Yes, we've got our game face on and we are moving on towards the next level.
Yes.
Indeed.
I see that train just pioneering through.
Yeah.
SMS the word give and the amount that you wish to give to 37871. 37871. I even know it off by heart right now. I'm not even looking anywhere.
Professional.
That's how much I've been saying it. SMS the word give and the amount that you wish to give to 37871, or you can WhatsApp to 082 It's as simple as that. It's easy. We are speaking to I don't want to say it because just in case I say it wrong. Actually, she's just come on to Zoom now. I'm gonna say Mama K. Dr. Mama K.
Yeah.
Dr. Mama K. We're gonna be having a word with her this evening, and finding out about the work that she does within her community. In fact, the great work that she's done in her community and how she continues to impact the people around her. Pastor Tolu has briefly given us an idea of the work that Dr. Mama K does. But it's going to be great to hear it from the horse's mouth, as they say in English. Dr. Mama K, are you there? Doctor?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Oh,
yes, I am.
you are looking lovely, by the
Yes.
by. You look
Good afternoon, good evening,
good.
Sawubona.
Sawubona kunjani? Oh, so great to have you with us this evening. We are so privileged and honored, and thank you for the work that you've done. I'm thanking you even before we speak to you because wow.
She works hard in the community.
She
Oh my
works
word.
hard.
Oh
You
my
know,
word.
We are indeed inspired by the work that you've been doing and continue to do in your community.
Yes. Thank you so much, Dr. Mama K. I can testify that she works extremely hard in the community. In fact, I was with her over the weekend and we drove around feeding people.
Wow.
Feeding people. I had never really done it before like that, but I was so blessed. But before I continue, I just want to let you know we've got Micheala in the house.
Yes,
We've
yes,
got
yes.
TC in the house.
Yeah.
We've got Tolu in the house.
Hello.
And we've got Dr. Mama K in the house.
Dr. Mama
Hello.
K. Hey there.
Yes,
I hope you guys can hear me very well.
very clearly.
We can.
We can hear you clearly.
Thank you.
You know, Dr. Mama K, you've worked as a social entrepreneur in several countries literally, in Scotland, in England, in Nigeria, in South Africa. Can you tell us a bit about your journey from Scotland to Cape Town and to Nigeria? Just a little
Love
bit.
that.
Ooh, are you sure we've got the time? Well, I'll start from Nigeria. It's been an epic journey. It's been a journey of adventure. I did my O-levels, my A-levels, and my university in Nigeria. And I believe I left Nigeria just to go on adventure and kind of, at that time, running away from my dad. I think that's for another story. Because he wanted me to practice with him. He was a lawyer. And he wanted me to practice with him because I used to go to court with him. And then I left Nigeria alone and I didn't want to go and stay with family or anyone. So I went to stay with friends. I left to go to London.
Wow.
So in London, I did 3 jobs from chambermaid. I woke up 6 in the morning, worked as a chambermaid from 6 to 8.
Wow.
Then from 9 to 5, I worked in the post office. And then from 6 to 8 again in the evening, I did cleaning job.
Wow.
So, but I'd set myself a goal, in terms of what I wanted to achieve, and I wanted to stay focused on it.
Awesome.
And I left then from London to Scotland, which is my beloved Scotland. That was Aberdeen. Initially, I used to run back to London thinking, oh my, this place is great. It's cold. It's, you couldn't even see any black person on the street, on the main street at that time.
Wow.
And when we saw each other, we used to go, oh, hello, hello. I'm from there. I'm from there. So the journey in Scotland, though, allowed me to be me. And not only be me, it allowed me, gave me so many opportunities in terms of I could fly. It made me believe I could do anything that I wanted to. The environment was, enabling. So I started work as well. Then I stopped work initially and then started work as a youth worker, working with young people. Then I worked with the council. Then, I started my own social enterprise, then. But through there as well, working in the community was just a big part of what I was doing.
Awesome.
And I was kind of, approached to become a counselor, which I first said, no, I don't do politics. I work in the community, but I don't do politics. However, my mentor at that time, who was a big person in the party I was then, mentored me and walked with me the journey and I said, am I allowed to say whatever I want? Because sometimes you politicians, you tell lies. I don't mean it that way. Not just for any politician out there. I mean in terms of you promise and sometimes you can't deliver.
Yes.
So I felt, no, I can't do this. And from that, though, I didn't win my area, but I came third. And for a Black young Nigerian in Scotland, I couldn't believe it. And I didn't even campaign as much, at that time. And then 2006, we came to South Africa through my husband's work. And that has been an experience. I think when I first came, there was a bit of a culture shock. Because I thought, Nigeria, we're in Africa.
Yes.
The big culture shock for me was the weather. It was cold in winter. I was like, no, I can't do this. This cannot be Africa. So, but from there, I think my experience in Scotland working on racial equality prepared me as well, not just opened me, prepared me for the work I started doing since I've been in Cape Town, South Africa, which is working with women, young people, and in disadvantaged communities, the township, mostly, trying to find ways to eradicate or reduce poverty and to promote peace between cultures.
Wow. Impressive indeed, and so bold. And this is not because of bold moves, Africa, but yeah, you've been so courageous in the works that you've done. How does bold moves help to build communities? And can you elaborate on specific projects that you've worked on to elevate the community?
Okay, bold moves help to build communities through a lot of ways. We basically do a lot of events focusing around entrepreneurship, on education, on arts and culture. And let me zoom in specifically to two for me that have stood out. Not that we don't have a lot, already. The festivals, that we do. We started with a festival called Tigerberg Festival, which was in the Belleville area, but it then expanded to Paru. And what the festival was about was I was actually kind of headhunted to come to the area at that time, that there are a lot of schools in the area, a lot of universities, and a lot of things now happening in terms of the culture, and then a lot of migrants, as well. So we started thinking, okay, we can use food, music, which was what I did as well while in Scotland. We could use food, music, sport, to bring people together. So we started with the Tigerberg Festival, which is in its 10th year now, 11th. I'm kind of lost now. But we used the opportunity at that time. We will have like sport events, especially football, with the homeless, with the student, with faith organizations, with migrants as well. And it was just so interesting to see how that now kind of became a mini project in the township as well. So whereby we had young people from Delft, young people from Fulani who came to, maybe play sport, or we gave them the platform through the talent show we had. And it was just amazing. And now I've ended up whereby I now do more work in Delft than even in Belleville and Paris.
Wow.
And the other project for me has been our skills development, which is from things like baking, to doing your nails, doing your hair, carpet making, which are all ways to promote entrepreneurship. Because for us, we believe that's an area we want to focus on, that we want to encourage young people and women, to run their own business, to do their own business, as opposed to looking for work. Because obviously, the unemployment rate in South Africa, even across Africa, is high. So those are the two, I believe at the moment, I can but we have a lot of other projects in terms of building communities.
Wow, that is amazing. Dr. Mama K, I have a question of my own. I wanted to know, it's actually a two-part question, but I wanted to know, what is the level of, I mean, you said you love to build your projects that you have is focused on building, the communities and so forth. What is the need in Scotland? Was there even any need there for a level of growth or building as there is here?
That's good. The comparison.
Oh, I love that question. And I think, because I travel now between Nigeria and South Africa and UK as well, a lot. So when I go to Nigeria, a lot of people think, the poverty level in Nigeria is so high. And when I go to the township as well, it's like, oh yeah, the level of poverty and, people not having any needs is high. But I tell you, I was what they called an area coordinator, and I was responsible as well for 4 low-income areas in Aberdeen then. I was working with the Aberdeen City Council. So it was about urban generation. So there was a lot of needs as well. We used to run after school club with the local groups there. We had a lot of people who basically struggled as well with drinking alcohol. We had teenage pregnancy, but probably on a different level.
Wow.
But I think the difference as well is maybe because the government, in the UK, they do have grants and funds and support system. So yes, if you're homeless, you could get a house, you could get funding, if you're not working, you could get money. So I think that's the difference, there. But there is a big, need as well there. Recently, I was listening to BBC, and I watched the program, about a young lady who was during the summer break couldn't really afford breakfast, for our children. So she depended on the after school club that ran breakfast club and so on. So there is a lot of need on that side as well. However, if you come to South Africa and Africa as alone, I know they talk about the black tax, where yes, you have a family, you go and meet, you have an uncle, and so on. So that's that as well, helps, even though I don't know how to explain it, even though we sometimes feel, why is this person coming? But that is the support system we have here. And I know in South Africa, there's a little bit of grant, as well available, for young people and or other people. I don't know whether that answers your question.
It definitely does. It definitely does.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mama K. I want to ask a question. Like I said, I was with you on Sunday, and I had a beautiful experience with you. Really lovely experience.
Wow.
I've been involved in some food drives and stuff like that, but there was something really special about the way she did it. Very elegant, very special, and very effective. So I want to ask you a question, that how can we, you see, when we hear, food grants, this, it sounds overwhelming sometimes. And many people are intimidated into thinking, there's so much to do, let me do nothing, because the little I do won't really make a difference. So can you tell us what we can do practically
I like that.
to build our community and where we find ourselves in our own small way? Can you just give us some ideas of little things that we can do just to put a smile. We may not be able to change the world, but we can change the world of one person.
So true.
And I think, just to summarize and reply to what you said, and thank you for those kind words. I think the whole idea is, I used to think, and I'm not where I am, or where I was before. It's different seasons as well for me. I used to really get frustrated when I was in the UK, when I was doing this work about, I want to change the world, I want to do this, and there's no money, there's no this, or however, and that's why I said that was an enabling environment for me. However, what I then realized was, you need to start small.
Yes.
And you need to start where you are.
Yes.
And what I mean by that is, you start, if it's a school in your vicinity, in your area, go and volunteer. Volunteering for me is not well done here in South Africa yet, for me. That's my personal opinion. There are a lot of people who volunteer in church, in the mosque, and other faith, groups. But volunteering, hasn't gone to that level for me, whereby that is what is keeping Europe, UK, and so on. Because what it means is you're gaining a skill, and not only that, you're giving back. But a lot of people here first, and I know, yes, the poverty level is high, but you need to think about, even if you don't have, there's a lot you can give, your time. So start whether on your streets, you could start on your streets, or even if you don't want to do it, you could find other organizations, NPOs and NGOs, there's a lot of them, that you can say, okay, let me commit, but you really have to commit. Yes. If it's once a year, if it's twice a month, whatever you're able to commit to, if it's your time, if it's your skill, if it's your 10 rand, because sometimes we okay, I don't have money, but then you can buy coffee, or you can buy, I don't know, I'm just
a burger.
So true.
So if you put that,
So
10 rand, you could afford to buy your burger, your talk, even if it's once a month, even if you're earning 2,000 rand, this is what my father taught me when I was young. If you're earning 100 rand and you can save or bless from other people with it, then when you earn 1,000 or 100,000, you will not still be able to do that. So you need to start small. Then you need to build relationships. Relationships matter. This is what, for me, I've built, over the years, whether be it in Scotland, be it in Nigeria, be it here. And genuine relationship, where we can, tell each other, oh, I'm not feeling this today, or I don't want to do this.
That's awesome.
And we do that tomorrow. Then you need to connect. You need to show up.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't show up. We talk about all these things. Oh, yes, I don't like this, I don't like that. But what are you doing? Yes, the government is not doing enough. The government can never do enough.
Yeah.
Our politician can never do enough. But it is up to us individuals to do more than enough within your time. And the value, the benefit that you get from it, trust me, I'm just telling you, is more than anything. Because when you see the smile on other people's face, when you see, how people feel, or what you make them feel, then be ready to learn. Be ready to learn, to unlearn, and relearn. So yes, this was the way I was growing up. Yes, this was the way I was growing up. This is what I want to do. No. Sometimes the world has moved beyond what you know. So maybe you need to relearn it. That's changed. So, and then you need to be ready to collaborate.
Yes.
So you don't need to start a new wheel. You don't need to duplicate effort. Who else is doing what I'm doing? Like now, I just told you about the festival that we do. Now, this year, we couldn't do the festival because for my own health reasons and a lot of other reasons for the organizations. However, one of the groups we are working with decided they wanted to, because from what we did, they said they wanted to do an homeless talent show. And I was so pleased. I said, oh, yes, let's go for it.
Awesome.
And even though I wasn't even in South Africa at the time, I sent someone, one of our staff to go there to go and record, to do this, to do that. So we still put in, to support them.
Yes.
So you don't need to be the one coming up with a new idea. Yes, it's okay for somebody to have an idea better than you. And, Google is our friend nowadays.
Yeah.
So be assured.
Yeah.
Whatever idea you have, somebody else might be doing it somewhere else. So be
Yes.
ready, and then build trust.
Yeah.
Trust, build trust
Yeah.
in any community.
Mm.
Build trust. If people don't trust you, and you have to have integrity,
Yes.
that is important.
Yes.
So I don't know. I could go on and on, but yeah, I don't know whether that answered your question.
Yes, it does. It does.
Okay.
It does. Thank you so much for that wonderful answer. And we've really, really enjoyed having you on the show tonight.
Definitely.
I wish we could go on, but we have to bring it to a close.
Yeah.
Thank you, but I think we need to have Dr. Mama K on the show. On one of
Yeah.
the
Definitely.
shows.
I'm definitely already thinking like Dr. Mama K. We
Sure,
need to
definitely.
interview you.
Come
Yes,
in,
we
come
need
in.
to interview her because we need to dig deep into what she's talking
There's
about.
so much more. Yeah.
Definitely. And the way you guys, you said you had such an awesome time with
did.
her.
I want to go what?
I want to go with. I mean, the way you explained it. I
Yes,
mean,
please. Why not?
yes.
Definitely. The more the
No, but thank you
merrier.
for having me, and thank you for all you are doing as well, being the eyes, ears, and Christ-like, in terms of what you're doing in the community. I wish you all the very best. But it will be a pleasure to come back.
Yes, it will be.
Anytime.
Yes.
Definitely.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you
Mama
so
K.
much.
God bless you.
Blessings. Bye-bye.
And goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Wow. Wow. Such a giving. Wow.
Very giving
heart.
woman. Yes.
Just generosity and love for community, genuine love for the
Yes.
community. She's not even trying to pretend.
No, she's not.
Exactly,
She's
man.
doing this from the heart.
Yes.
From a heart
She
of hearts.
really is. I can tell you that for real. She really is.
Wow. Thank you so much to Dr. Mama K and Pastor Tolu. Thank you for linking us up with her. She's now also become family.
Yes.
You know what I also loved about what she spoke about is the volunteering thing. I think a
Yes.
lot of young people don't do that. And I think also there's that mind of, I don't know, Micheala, but you will correct me if I'm wrong. There's that mind of sometimes, I'm gonna be doing this work, but I feel like sometimes in South Africa there's that narrative of I can't even get to the work. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes that is where young people lack in terms of volunteering within South Africa. And also the education that is not given, I suppose, when it comes to volunteering, that eventually when you do volunteer, you're building your CV in a sense,
Yes.
because you would have done the work.
Definitely.
I don't know, Micheala, but you will correct me. Like I said, you're an advocate for young people right now.
No, but it's true because many times when you go looking for a job, there they are. A 26-year-old is looking for a job. They want 5 years experience. Where were you supposed to get the 5 years experience from?
Exactly. I was
It's so
still in
true.
university.
You know?
It's so true. I think there's also an element of we as young people become so self-absorbed in our lives and trying to make it, because there's so many young billionaires or millionaires now that you're trying to compete to keep
Social
up.
media,
And,
TikTok.
and volunteer just tends to go over our heads. Like it's not making us money. So why must we? Why must we?
But you see, what people don't realize is that when you volunteer, you learn for free.
Yeah.
And I've seen
So
people
true.
literally. I've seen people literally. I can count like many people off my fingers.
Move up the ranks.
Move
through
up the ranks
volunteering.
through volunteering. Some people, they went and I know there was a guy long ago, many years ago. He used to be in our church back in Nigeria, and he was so good at building glass pulpits.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he would build glass pulpits for the church. I think it started off as a hobby. It became a huge business for him.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yes. My eldest daughter, Mary, she loved children. She just likes children. She always volunteered in the church for children's ministry. Now she's got a creche.
But that's how God blesses
Yes.
servanthood.
Yes.
You know,
He blesses
generally,
servanthood.
I think we don't realize that as we serve, God elevates us, you know. And it's
Sure.
those who are lost shall be first concept that happens there. And God can do so many things when we just humble ourselves.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you are doing, you know,
Yes.
God will make a way where there seems to be no way.
Precisely.
And exactly like you said, like these people didn't foresee those things becoming
No.
big, you know, and God just blessed it because they
Yes.
served.
Yes.
You know, and
Yes.
yeah, it's awesome.
It's still the story of the 5 talents, the 2
Yes,
talents.
There
I
we
was
go.
thinking
The
of
guy
that.
with the 1 talent felt, oh, I don't have enough. So what's the point? But people who had a few more talents felt, no,
They tried
I have
by all
enough to
means.
trade with it. I have enough to trade. And they traded and traded their way up. So that's the beautiful thing about volunteering. Sometimes the best things in life will come disguised as free stuff, something you'll do
so
for
true.
free, but someone is always watching.
That's what I was going to say. You don't know who's watching you.
Yeah.
And today's life is all maintained by connections.
Yeah.
So here you are volunteering and thinking, you know, I'm just doing this for the sake of, but someone is watching you that's
Yeah.
connected with someone that is in higher power. And so many doors can open for you if you just think less of yourself and offer you up as an offering in that concept, yes.
I like
Yeah.
what you're saying, Micheala, because it's almost like dying to self.
There we go.
There's a lot of that needs to be done in our communities. I think young and old, you know. And I loved what Dr. Mama K also spoke about the learning and unlearning and relearning. You know, realizing that we're in a different world now.
true.
You know, all the things or desires that you had back then for your life, it might not be, but it might take shape in a different form. So allow that to be. And Pastor Terry also spoke about blossom where you are.
Yes.
So meaning that use what you have right here, you know, and stand in the gap for, you know, other organizations, other ministries. And I think that's also part of standing in the gap, you know,
Yeah.
volunteering.
Definitely.
Yes.
You believing in this and you're saying that I want to see this organization grow and fulfill its mission and vision for this community. I remember when I was in varsity doing my first and second year, I volunteered at SOS Children's Village. So I used to go there and I had a little sister. So imagine the impact that I gave that little sister at that time. So you almost are a role of a mentor to your little sister and you spend some time with them. I used to go there on a Friday every second week. And you would read books together. If you want, you can bring them some snacks and, you know, you guys can watch a movie. So it's like an hour or 2 hours depending on the time that you've arrived. But I mean, for me, that was incredible. I wasn't getting paid for that. I used to use my own pocket money. I used to catch a train from town to Pinelands because that's where SOS Children's Village was. And it taught me a lot. And I think through that, even when I was going to interviews now, when I was looking for a job after, you know, having graduated, people would be like, wow, impressive. You know, the panel that's busy interviewing me would be like, wow, this is impressive. So you actually volunteered at the SOS Children's Village, you know. So I think it really does make a difference and it opened doors. So to the young people out there that are listening, come and stand in the gap here at 7 to 9 a.m. We need
Exactly.
volunteers.
Yes. And I must say, TC, there is a few of us here that love just ministering to the people out there, and we also volunteer here and there where we can here at
Absolutely.
Pulpit, you know. And I love
Yeah.
what Mama Kay said, where she says, if you can't even give 100 now out of what you have, then how can you ever, you know, even give when things get more, when things you tend
Start
to
at
have
the small.
There we go. You tend to have so many excuses when God continues to bless you, you know, and we at Radio Pulpit want to continue to bless and offer and serve you guys through the station. And, you know, for us to do that, we need to sow. So, TC, how do we do that?
Well, we do that by SMSing the word give and the amount that you wish to give to 37871. Or you can WhatsApp 082-6572-729. And standard rates do apply. We'll be taking a short song break, and on our return, we're talking about giving and giving and giving and giving. We don't stop.
Met soveel fopnuus daar buite, kan jy Radio Kansel en Radio Kaapse Kansel vertrou om altyd waarheid en hoop te bring. Help ons om